Welcome back to WGLNA. We just had another victory. Simplistic won over War and Peace. Hard fought win. They were down 0-2 and then came back for 3 straight victories. And I have to say, they're looking pretty good. War and Peace, unfortunately, has no wins so far in the league. And that's going to be very tough after today to even make it to the playoffs in order to join us in Las Vegas. Now, our next matchup is Fulcrum Gaming versus Cunninghams. Now, this is probably one of the biggest matches this week. Why? Because Cunninghams is 3-0. 3 wins, 0 losses. They defeated Bernal Empires, Game Over, and Pub Stars. Fulcrum defeated Pub Stars, but after they have their first loss ever in WGLNA against Wreak Havoc. I look forward to see what they're going to bring to the table. We're going to have the face-off underway between these two team captains as the rest of the team is invited into the game. Our admins make sure that everyone is there that needs to be, switching out of the 10 players who's going to be in those 7. Because they do bring backups, and sometimes they switch out, hey, you play this one game, you didn't perform well, so we're going to switch you out, we're going to bench you, put you in the next one.
We actually saw Simple Tankers do that a lot in the finals, and they did it to great success. I mean, they were one of the struggling teams last season, and they made it all the way to top 4, and now showing some fantastic results. Of course, we're not talking about the Simple Tankers here, but it's important to note that swaps and replacements are used in the high-level competitive play.
Well, the face-off is ready. Let's go ahead and say hello to the team captains of Fulcrum Gaming and Cunninghams. Gentlemen, good evening.
Good evening.
How's it going?
Hey, Martin, we're going to start with you, as you have a Cookie Monster doll with you. Nice. So, you're 3-0. You're top of the league right now. This is a different team. This is a different performance compared to what we saw in Season 1. What's different about your team?
We're less nervous. I think it's the big thing. We're more decisive. We really go for things when we see them, and I think I've gotten better at recognizing different situations on different maps. So.
Would you say you're less nervous against Fulcrum Gaming?
It's hard to be more nervous than we were the last time we faced them. So, yeah, I'd say we're less nervous.
Okay. Well, Nagatron, good to see you back in your standard digs instead of a PC area as you were playing from South Carolina, North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Great. Well, your webcam froze on, so we can still hear you.
Yeah, it's acting up right now. Hold on. Well, don't hold on. Keep going. I'll try to get back up while we talk here.
All right. So I'm sure you're probably tired of hearing people say, wow, Fulcrum lost their first game. Wow, they lost their first match. You guys are pretty much the epitome of professionalism and experience when it comes to World of Tanks in America, and a lot of teams look up to you. Is it difficult to have that standard all the time of being the best in America? And how do you regulate that type of standard and expectations for yourself and for your team members?
It's kind of a complex question, and I'd have to say it's probably an ongoing process. Yes, it is definitely more difficult to be kind of like the trendsetter or the leader. It's complicated things on sponsorship and strategy and everything. We can't just play to win all the time. We have to be pushing an agenda because everybody in this league has to step up and play faster if we want to go into the international scene and win. And that is our main goal, is for us to go over there and win. But really, any team in America, I'd just be happy to see them throw down on the Europeans or the Russians. But right now, with slow play, it's just not gonna work. So it's a lot more pressure, and it's a lot more work for sure.
Now you're up against Cunninghams, who hasn't lost a battle, hasn't lost a match yet in this season. Are there any nerves on your side for Fulcrum?
Really, I mean, there's always some nerves to an extent, but it's I wouldn't say that, no offense or anything, Martin. It's no different than any other match. Live matches are always actually strangely a little bit less intense for me. Internet matches are different because I can't just like look to my left and right and see my other teammates and see where they are and their morale. So it feels a little bit blind for me, but they've definitely stepped it up so far. A lot of improvement since last season, and they're doing well this season. So it should be an interesting match either way.
Hey, Martin, any words?
Still underdogs. No.
Any words for Nagatron before we start the battle?
We'll try to take one off you at least this time. Not roll over quite so much. We'll see.
You should try to take 3 off me. Off us. I would just say keep improving. Keep putting yourself out there on the social media and keep treating it professionally. You guys are one of the teams that's definitely putting the work in, and it's always going to be fun to play you guys. So good luck.
You too.
All right, Fulcrum Gaming, you have the higher seed. Heads or tails on the coin flip?
Heads.
Heads is the call, and it is heads. Map deferral or map choice?
Deferral.
Deferral. Cunninghams, what is your map choice?
Ensk.
Ensk will be the first map, and spawning position for Fulcrum?
South.
You're going to take south side of Ensk. Cunninghams will take the north side. Gentlemen, always a pleasure to see you. Best of luck.
Tank lineup, 2 5100s, 2 IS-3s, and an Object 416 for the Cunninghams. On the other side, 3 IS-3s and 2 5100s for Fulcrum Gaming.
Interesante, as they say in Spanish. I'll be on the side of Fulcrum in the red-blue team. The Cunninghams. And the red has spawned to the south, and look at this. There's a bit of that aggression from Fulcrum, this time not all the way down the 1 line, but splitting across the 2 and 3 line. And Hugo Maximus and his IS-3 will be the point man. T1 is able to be spotted, but he has not spotted anything from Fulcrum. And I am intrigued to see how Fulcrum's going to play this out.
Friction will be spotted out here. A Martin right around the corner, trying to proxy spot any of these guys that are across, just across this area. But nothing will be spotted out just yet. Friction obviously is the only person being spotted for the team of the Cunninghams.
Yep, and A. Martin is trying to get some proxy spotting if anyone does fully commit to him. Friction is going to be
A. Martin, don't do it. Don't do it.
No, Friction does see Militant in the IS-3. Will he land the shot? No, Militant's just... Oh, yes, he does. He's able to get the hit, and at the same time, A. Martin goes down. Militant 83 at 1037 at a 1500. A solid hit from Friction. He timed that shot very well. Silent Demise, however, trying to get the side plant against
look at this
any
one-line push,
here.
though. The one-line push is going to be so powerful. They're getting a lot of good positions. Comps able to see Friction over here. And I like this. By them doing a one-line push, they're basically going around Comps. Now, you might think that's weird, but Comps needs to get into a good position to get free damage. If he takes any sort of damage during the big brawl, then he's going to go down very fast with only 1,200 hit points. So they're kind of sidestepping Comps, doing a good job of avoiding the 5-6 line, and now they're going to start engaging.
Friction takes a hit on the bow side of the IS-3, or more to the front, actually, but now he's going to push in, and here's going to be a really, really solid engagement, at least for the side of Fulcrum, but not so fast. Countess to the north, and his 5100 gets the flank on Absolute Royal. Nagatron tries to push in to stop that firefight.
Nice. And Nagatron will kind of screen for Absolute Royal a little bit here, but Absolute Royal does go down, but at the cost of Countess. On the other side, Commander J is getting a wraparound and trying to get good shots on everybody. Hugo Maximus down, Friction down to 133 in his IS-3, and Comp still hasn't been touched just yet. So he's doing a good job, really making himself worth it, but now they're starting to initiate on him. Silent Demise, the next target. Hugo Maximus down to 258 hit points. He goes down as well, and Nagatron in the middle of 3 different Tier 8 tanks. Is this going to be enough? Does Commander J have enough shots to take out Nagatron? No, he's going to duck behind cover.
Silent Demise has 1 shot on Soviet. Soviet's going to cross the way. Soviet does take a hit. 4 HP left on Nagatron. He is running away for his life right now. Soviet in the IS-3 is going to try to catch Comps in the 416.
It's a high roll. Can he get it? Can he get it?
Oh! No, another hit and 19 damage against, or remaining for Comps now. Nagatron has 4 HP, and he's going to try to stay alive as long as possible here. But Soviet is reloaded. He's going to line up the shot and get the kill against Comps. Commander J still left alive, and with some well-timed shots, Commander J could prove to be invaluable in his 5100. Relics and F0X are now trying to
here's the
capture.
problem, okay? Soviet, 1,100 hit points. Nagatron, 4 hit points. That's 5 shots. You only have 6 shots for Commander J, and you need to allocate 2 of them for the 2 T1s, or you can ram into them. So it's going to be really difficult for Commander J to pull this off, to kill the 2 Tier 8 tanks, and at the same time reset this cap.
And the T1's doing a lot of damage to Commander J. We're going to have to check the stats
and he's
on those
burning.
T1s.
That's why. He's burning. And this is a big problem. Soviet now eating a shot, but it bounces. There it will connect, but Nagatron going to sweep around and clean Commander J up. Ladies and gentlemen, a Fulcrum victory for battle number 1. Very well executed.
Very well executed, but Cunninghams made them work for it. And I really liked the Cunningham spread, getting those shots across the way, but Nagatron shut down the northern side flank fire coming from that 5100. He took a lot of damage in that engagement, and then even more so with those IS-3s. But Soviet played it a little bit safe, trying to, well, I mean, safe is, and he's in the engagement, but he's positioning his IS-3 to not get hit by those 5100s until it was necessary, and that's why he proved to be such a devastating factor later in the game. And Nagatron staying alive with 4 HP.
Okay, so I want to talk about the 5100 and the difference of it being in the battle and not. Let's take a look at Soviet. Now, potential damage received 1,910 damage. That is a lot of damage that you could have received. But if we look at the 5100 that was being played by Commander J, here's the big problem. Now, he was able to connect a lot of shots. 6 total shots were able to do damage for a total of 1,820 damage. But if we look at, well, it's hard to actually see this now with the hits received. But when it comes down to it, is Commander J was able to put out 12 shots, but only connect really a single clip, 6 shots worth of damage. And that's the big problem, because he was staying out of the fight for a long time, and when he really needed to be in there sharing HP, at the end, he was at 1,400 damage, or 1,400 hit points. You want to be around, I would say, 600 hit points, so that you're accurately sharing with your opponents, kind of being battle buddies to your IS-3s. That way, other people live a little bit longer. Commander J trying to get the beautiful crossfire, he did, but I think he needed to be a little bit closer.
A little bit closer, and also trying to share that HP, as you brought up, is very crucial to keep the 5100s alive. Fulcrum's able to take battle number 1, but it's not over yet. We're only getting started.
And here we go, 3 5100s and 2 IS-3s against 2 5100s and 3 IS-3s. Last battle was very close, I do have to say. Commander J definitely could have clinched it, while other people could have clinched it as well. I just felt like both teams had really, really great tanking on opposite sides, and then when it finally converged, I mean, let's be honest, Nagatron, if he was dead, we would have had a much different game. A single IS-3 against a 5100, an IS-3 with only 1,100 damage. We're looking at 4 shots with Commander J, killing out the IS-3. There's not enough burst damage to take him down, and he would have double tapped the 2 T1s. I really feel like it was unfortunate, it was RNG that affected who won that last series.
Yes, and again, wow. I mean, it was so close, but the spread, the firefighting, the crossfire that was happening from Cunninghams, I thought there was a very distinct possibility that Fulcrum Gaming would have lost battle number 1.
And I almost want to retract my statement about the Commander J thing. Ooh, Hugo Maximus able to connect with Baga.
Yep, Baga goes down. That's probably what he shouted when he died. And that IS-3 is going to move away from that window.
Ooh, A. Martin taking a lot of damage from F-Zero-X. And A. Martin does not have... Oh, yes, he does. Never mind.
Couple more shots from A. Martin, and F-Zero-X falls. Both teams down 1 T1. Relics is going to be going hillside. I actually really like how fast Relics is going. He's not spotting anything yet, so he goes, you know what? If they're not coming up now, they won't be coming up later.
The important part is they know where the 2 T1s are, and the fact that they know that Relics can push on, and if he sees a tier 8, he just says, go, push. We can overmatch 4v5.
Indeed, indeed. Well, Soviet, as you can see his position here, he actually has the rear of his tank towards the north end of Tank Alley, so he can move faster away, but also at an angle to bounce any shots.
Rotation of the Cunninghams as they move to the north side, maybe to intercept the Relics in a little bit here. They're looking for some hill play, while they've already shown very defensive play from the west side. And Relics is going to get spotted out here. Shot goes out. Silent Demise will not be able to connect against Relics.
Nope, Silent Demise is spotted, though. And Relics has done his job. Now it's time for him to run away. He's going to keep Silent Demise spotted from that proxy spotting. Silent Demise will disappear. But look at this commitment. It looks like 3 heavy tanks could be going hillside, thinking, whoa, Fulcrum is going to be at the top of the hill. Let's prepare for that. But that's not the case. They are on the G line. And the only one that could spot them if they decide to go west is A. Martin. 5100 Commander J gets the kill against Relics. A nice shot around the corner. A. Martin still left alive, which means Fulcrum Gaming's down 1 tank. They are down Tier 1, T1.
And it looks like Fulcrum Gaming is just saying, hey, if you want the game, come get it. They haven't moved. They're staying in that G line. And they're just waiting for their opponents to do something about it now. I kind of feel like there's a big overcommitment over to the hill. And
look at this window of opportunity from Fulcrum Gaming.
This is the worst possible situation for the Cunninghams.
This is the best possible situation for Fulcrum Gaming, moving across the courtyard. Cunninghams is not at the top of the hill to try to scout that. A. Martin's going to head south, thinking, where are they, where are they, where are they? Nagatron's going to be in a great spot down Tank Alley to stop those tanks, or at least get some fire down the line if they decide to commit. No, he's actually going to go through the courtyard himself, and Absolute Royal will be towing the line along with Nagatron at the very rear of this push-in, and this is the trigger being pulled. Blue base under attack. Soviet setting up in his IS-3 next to Friction. Friction getting to the left side of that area as Hugo Maximus in his IS-3 is going to perform this trifecta of fire and this Alpha Strikes, and they're in a great place. Look, they're not exposed down this one alley. They're only exposed around the that type of buildings, either a schoolhouse or something, that red building. But now here's Militant. He is seen, and he is able to track Friction, but Friction is not taking any damage. Militant himself takes damage. Friction does get hit, though. 1140 at a 1500. Militant 83 takes a shot on his side. Soviet a little bit too far inclined on his end to hit Militant, but he's going to focus on the 5100s instead.
Yeah, just some nice screening going back and forth, and on top of that, nice HP sharing by both of these teams. Commander J, though, he's going to be the X factor that comes in from behind to get good crossfire. And we're going to see him probably light up a ton of these tanks as they do move in for the kill. The Cunninghams, oh my goodness, they're going to be able to take out Soviet pretty soon here. Commander J lining up the shot, and he does connect with Soviet. Soviet goes down. Nagatron and Absolute Royal have very fixed amount of shots left. Nagatron down to 221, and down he will go. Absolute Royal is going to be alone. And wow, wow, wow. In the meantime, a T1 capping on the other side. This is perfect play coming out of the Cunninghams. They will take the map.
I have to say that the turret break that happened with those IS-3s just around the corner proved to be pretty crucial, because they were focusing on the initial push of Militant 83 and his battle buddy in that IS-3. Soviet and his two teammates around the corner thinking, okay, that's going to be their engagement, and they will try to hit on the other side. The 5100s were there. They were able to land a number of shots into those IS-3s, and so now they had two areas to attack from. And because of that break, because of having to switch back and forth, the 5100s are able to unload more, and the commitment of Fulcrum Gaming down that alley was great until Commander J showed up, and that changed everything.
And on top of that, when you're playing corner games with 5100, the way you defeat 5100s is actually sharing your HP. You don't actually say, well, let's just kill it quickly, because that's an unreasonable thing to say we're going to get every single time, right? You can't always focus the 5100s because your opponents will be HP sharing. So the way you try to do it is just say, okay, let's disperse all the damage that the 5100 is doing, and now all of a sudden the burst damage that they're doing is going to spread out really evenly so they don't have any actual effects. You know, everybody's going to be peppered instead of their big advantage, which is to eliminate a tank immediately and just have that DPM advantage as the map goes on longer. And that's what the Cunninghams did so well. Trade, 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 and then the cleanup crew, Commander J coming in from behind, and he's able to do the role of the 5100 at the most optimal point. Get in the right shots, kill tanks, remove them from the field, remove DPM, and most importantly, the IS-3s, knowing that Nagatron and Absolute Royal do not have shots left. They have fixed amount of shots. You can't kill 4 or 3 tanks.
That's right. He does focus on the IS-3s first. There goes Soviet. And now is the beginning of the end for Fulcrum Gaming on that battle. Impressive play by Cunninghams. I really have to maybe adjust my bets. I'm sure a lot of people in chat are going, uh-oh, this is Wreak Havoc versus Fulcrum Gaming again. No, they're jumping to conclusions. It's still 1-1 in the battles. We're going to jump into battle number 3 after this quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. Fulcrum Gaming versus Cunninghams continues after this.
4 T-69s and a 1390 for the Cunninghams against a Pershing, 2 T-69s and 2 1390s for Fulcrum Gaming. Can be interesting. T-69s, I think, are the most defensive tanks that you can have on this map.
Possibly.
I guess a utility is the best word.
Yes. tanks
But
all around
these
on
tanks are
cutscene.
like utility, right?
Pretty
say so?
much, man. For this map, yeah. They can fulfill and perform many different roles here. Cunninghams in the south, Nagatron. Nagatron, of course, to the north, the leader of Fulcrum Gaming, but they are in the red, Cunningham's in the blue, and here comes the first
Wow.
pass, Commander J. Wow, nice spotting by Absolute Royal, seeing a lot of Cunningham's initial positions here.
And
4 tanks spotted.
I want to apologize to you. North side is Fulcrum Gaming. South side is the Cunninghams.
Yeah.
I was completely wrong.
It's all right, man.
I'm terrible.
Sorry.
I'm going to whip myself
It's
for
okay.
you.
Some mistakes don't matter as long as they're corrected. It's out of your hands.
And we do see shots ringing out on Militant in his T-69. Needs to be careful. He did take his initial shot.
Yep, Hugo Maximus in that T-69 able to land that hit. Absolute roll.
Oh,
1390.
and look at this. Nagatron for the other side getting great shots, but return fire will go on him immediately from one of those T-69s. Militant down to 632. And will they swing over? Shots going again on Militant. One of them will bounce. And it looks like everybody's getting shot from... Oh my goodness. Absolute Royal! He peeked over the crest and almost got obliterated there down to 338 damage. Friction now getting the cleanup shot, but will there be any return fire? He's right in the open. Doesn't look like it.
Nagatron, it was in a great position. Comp's not in such a good position here. Ooh, Absolute Royal misses a shot in his 1390, but he's going to be on the chase against Comps. One more shot, he goes down. Absolute Royal gets the cleanup kill against him. 2 heavy still left alive, Commander J and Countess. As Absolute Royal will be on the chase, Commander J does see F0X to the north. Absolute Royal and Nagatron and Relics are going to move south. They could go for the flag capture here to isolate the win.
Oh no, Commander J down really low here, taking a lot of shots from the center of the map. And another shot rings out true. 139 hit points left. He needs to be so careful. Blue base is under attack.
Couple
by
bounces from Countess. But now Nagatron heading in, knowing Countess is going to be either reloading or had one more shot. That last shot went into Nagatron's front. Now Nagatron's going to be unloading into the T-69. Shot after shot. There's 4 of them. 2 more and Countess will go down. There's 1. Last one from Nagatron. Kabuya, there goes Countess. Friction, Hugo Maximus. And Hugo Maximus gets the final hit on the last tier 8. But Gok, only one left alive here in that T1. Relics performing his job well. A minute left on the capture for the flag with 7 minutes and 11 seconds left on the battlefield, which means that Fulcrum Gaming will be able to take battle number 3 and lead the charge 2-1 here. There's the victory screen. Fulcrum Gaming is able to take it. Nagatron,
Yeah,
MVP of that map.
I would agree. Getting that great crossfire, initiating the fights, forcing the turrets to turn. As soon as that happens, the combination punch, they just stepped over the ledge and said, hey, your turrets are turned the wrong way. We can go
Boom.
for the engagement.
Take them out. Right now in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class on strike, we do the 4 punch combination. You go jab, cross, hook, cross. And I had Javier Vasquez, who's the trainer there, punch me in the face a number of times with boxing gloves because I had to move, dip, move every time and reset my position. He goes fast. And he'll hit you. He's aiming for your head. And that's what Nagatron was doing. He was aiming for their heads, and they weren't moving, and he was able to hit them. So nice work by him. Actually jumping in here real quick. Let's see what kind of damage he was able to deal out.
Yeah, brilliant. And watch the return fire, right? You can see, that screen wasn't able to show it, but what's most important is Nagatron said, hey, there's multiple shots. About 3 different turrets are pointed at me. Go in for it because you will have good shots on not only their turrets, but some ammo racks. And additionally, you'll just have to jump on them. I just back up, and all of a sudden 3 tanks are out of position, and I can go forward as soon as they rearrange and get those same cross shots for the win.
That's right. Nagatron was 11 out of 12 shots that penetrated.
Oh my God.
2,640 damage from a
And
single
we
tank.
always talk about the 1390 being so inaccurate. When Nagatron has it, not so much,
Nope.
guys.
Super accurate. Super accurate as Nagatron. The rest of his team did well. The Pershing, Friction, he was able to clean up the rest. 4 kills in his tank. 9 for 10. Soviet, 2 for 3. Didn't fire a lot in his T-69, but didn't have to because the rest of his team was doing work. Especially Hugo Maximus, 7 for 10. Nice work by Fulcrum Gaming. Still anybody's game though. Cunninghams could come back. We could go to battle 5, but right now we're going to go into battle number 4 after we take a very quick commercial break. Stay tuned. WGLNA Fulcrum versus Cunninghams after this.
a map that we've already seen before, but look at this. Lineups have been changed very slightly. 2 5100s, 2 IS-3s, and a 416 for the Cunninghams. But look at that. 2 IS-3s, 2 5100s, and a 1390 being chosen. Now, we've talked a lot about light tanks on this map, and frankly, I've always been of the opinion that 1390s don't belong on this map.
Whoa. East side? Is this going to be east side from Cunninghams? No, maybe it's just Bagak going up there first with F0X. Could be able to see it. It's easy to travel down to the south side from the east side. Eastbound and down, but not going to be the case yet. Well, some of the heavy tanks may commit.
Yeah, Commander J is over there, and so is Countess. So, yes, we'll have an east side for the Cunninghams. We'll see how Fulcrum Gaming reacts to this. They're playing it a lot slower than we saw in their first battle.
Yes, they are. And as a quick refresher, this is a reversal rule. You can play on a map that you did lose on, but no map can be played 3 times. Bagak will fall to F0X. No. 20 HP. Whoa, F0.
F0X.
Too fast. And another shot for the 5100 of Countess, and he is able to dodge that one, but not the second one.
And immediately, as soon as they see that, look at the Fulcrum Gaming team. Hugo Maximus will stay back in his IS-3, and the rest of the team, minus Relics, will be pushing for the cap. Will it be enough? They're already down 1 T1, so it might be a little bit risky to do this, but the spread out Cunninghams might have some complications.
This is that mobility advantage of the 1390 to scout when necessary. Also to cruise in between all these different buildings to see, hey, any tanks here? No. Activate defense mode Delta, or offensive mode Delta right now, and that's going to be waiting for the flag cap with those 3 heavy tanks, and now they're going to fully commit here as Negatron's going to go back to the north side. Hugo Maximus is not able to spot any of the tanks across the way on the railroad tracks, and he's going to continue to move south in his IS-3 slowly but surely. And Relics, will he be able to see? Now they see the red base is under attack, and Relics is going to have to try to do something desperate to kill one of the T1s here, because he's the only one that can stop this.
It's very possible that we could see a draw coming out from this battle. It's all going to come down to Negatron, and if he can land those shots being fired across the ways right now. Blue base is under attack, but a lot less. Oh my gosh, actually, all of Fulcrum Gaming is coming back here. Negatron getting good shots, good crossfire on everybody else. Down goes another tank. Object 416, IS-3 and 5100 are all dead, but 13 seconds left. Can Hugo Maximus get this winning shot? It's going to be tough. Relics, can he be the winner here? No.
Well, he did. Something got reset, though. Something got reset.
Something did, and I think A. Martin took a shot there. So Relics did everything in his power to get back into this, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Negatron coming in here, 404 hit points.
7 seconds left on the clock.
Gosh,
those T1s are being well hidden. Negatron trying to land something. Another reset. Soviet going in for the charge.
And he's trying to get around, trying to get shots. Maybe they can get it. And no, he gets blocked out. No! One of the T1s goes down. Negatron now in here. Can they take out A. Martin? He has all the cap points. Negatron, he is reloaded. Down goes the 5100. Militant only needs 1 high roll to kill Negatron. Will he get it? No! Militant goes down, and Negatron will be able to clean up A. Martin, reset it. 10 seconds left for the blue base. That's going to do it. Fulcrum Gaming goes 3-1 in the series against the Cunninghams, who led the division to start out the day. So tense.
Wow, the first loss for Cunninghams, the second victory for Fulcrum Gaming in Season 2. I have to say, I was sweating, and Fulcrum Gaming, I'm sure, were trying to figure out how to enact resetting the flag cap, getting those T1s. It is more like an all-in, pretty much, of Soviet Negatron, forcing the death of those T1s around the way. And I have to say, I have to commend Fulcrum Gaming. There's a couple times where many times they got blocked successfully by Cunninghams, and they were patient with their shots.
Yeah. I'm actually wondering if Fulcrum Gaming is purposely sending in tanks 1 by 1, secretly saying, we're going to actually cap, and we're going to send them in 1 by 1 so the 5100s will overdo it with the tanks, saying, oh, well, I just have to defend against these tanks, and I'm fine. But that's not the case at all.
Yeah.
There's more tanks coming in, slowly but surely, and once those 5100s are done exhausting their clips,
exactly,
the T1s are much more manageable to kill.
Exactly, and that could have been the case. Let's go ahead and jump back into the replay right now of that action that we saw. Now, the spread is pretty wide, and Relic's the only one to the north side. We're thinking, okay, he's going to have to perform something crazy here. But it's just a simple reset in order to keep that clock alive, in order for it not to go down to 0. And he's able to try to land a couple hits here, but there's a miss coming from the south side of Fulcrum. And you see the 2 T1s, those Cunninghams, are completely guarded by those tanks. And now Militant 83 does take a couple shots, at least from the right side, but Commander J trying to hold the line. Now here comes Relics. Is he able to get the shot here? He does. He gets the shot
on
right,
Martin, right
through that window.
Yeah.
Right through that window for that reset. Relics with the sacrificial play. Incredible. I mean, barely getting that shot off before he went down.
And now here's where there's just one IS-3 doing damage. Right? The 5100 is clipped out. He can't do anything from here. So everybody's going to just swoop in as they need to and get the right shots on the T1 Cunninghams. There's nothing that they can do. The IS-3 takes too long to reload. 5100 does a good job, tries to get into position to stop who is that, Soviet, from actually resetting this, but it's too much.
That's too much. And A. Martin, trying to land some hits on that 5100. He actually got simped by his teammate. Simp is to place your tank in front of a friendly tank so they can't shoot the enemy. And, they're trying to keep everybody alive, and the panic was ensuing for Cunninghams. But I got to say, Cunningham's still looking really, really good. And that was a great play by them to try to execute. But Fulcrum didn't panic. They kept their cool, and they were able to land their necessary shots to get the resets on those T1 Cunninghams. And were able to get the victory. Well played. Great series. And I look forward to what else we have in store for tonight. We're going to take our halftime break. When we come back in a little bit, it's going to be the next matchup. And that matchup, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be Simp versus Hammer Time. And then following them, who better to close out the night than Capfast Nation versus Game Over? Stay tuned. WGLNA will return in just a little bit.